I'm Amanda, also known as Shuttermonkey. Welcome to my vlog, Crafting with Shuttermonkey. Today is episode 2 and I should probably share a little bit of information about myself because I forgot to do that in the last one, didn't I? I live in Skelter. It's a small town in Ayrshire on the west coast of Scotland. I am a member of the Scottish Women's Institute, SWI for short. I'm a member of the Pearson Institute, which is based in Irvine. It's just a few miles away from me. And I am also on the H&H committee, which is the Home Skills and Handiwives committee for the Ayrshire Federation. That's the federation that Pearson Institute is part of. And I am also on the H&H committee at national level as well. I also teach patchwork and quilting classes. It's just one day a week down in Prestwick in Ayrshire. It's maybe about a 30-minute drive from where I live. And also now and again I take evening classes in Egyptology at the University of Glasgow. That's something I really enjoy doing. Unfortunately, they are evening classes and sometimes it means you can't get to your SWI meeting because they're on the same night, or maybe you can't get to your quilting group. But hey ho, can't do everything all the time, can you? One of the things you have to do being on the H&H committee at the Ayrshire Federation level is help the convener to organise classes. And recently, since my last vlog, I've taken part in a hardanger class. This was the strangest class I've ever been to. I'll let you have a wee look. Don't know how well you'll see this. But obviously, because of the current pandemic, we all had to be 2 metres apart, wearing masks, and the tutor was at the front of the class with a projector and a screen so she could show us what we were doing in an overhead projector. Nobody was getting very close to one another. It's not the normal way classes are run, but unfortunately the classes are 2 day. All the Ayrshire Federation classes are always 2-day classes, but I don't think we're going to we might not be able to do the second part of this class because if the further restrictions are imposed, we'll not be able to meet up. I hope you can see that. It's quite pretty. I've never done hardanger before, so this was a good class. You're not supposed to cut the centre pieces out until you've finished your full piece, but just in case we didn't make it to the second class, the tutor wanted to show us how to do that and how to weave in and finish off the cut out bits. But I have to do a wee border around the outside here, and then it's going to turn into a coaster. I'll probably never use it as a coaster. I'll be worried in case it ends up with a ring on the end on it from a glass or something. Don't want to ruin it. Right. Oop. Places where you can find me online. You can find me on Ravelry. I'm Shuttermonkey Designs on there. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Wee Shuttermonkey on Instagram. You can also find me on Etsy. I have my own Etsy shop. That's Shuttermonkey Designs as well. And I'm also on Facebook. I have a page on there, Shuttermonkey Designs. And I know a lot of people can't go onto Ravelry these days. Just have problems with the new platform that they're using. So I also have my patterns on, my knitting patterns are on Love Crafts as well. So you can find them over there if you're having trouble with Ravelry. I'll put all these links below so you can find me online below. And the only other place I can think of right now is Payhip. Sorry, I keep looking down. I've got a list here. Last time I didn't have a list of stuff to do and I felt like I waffled a wee bit. You can also find me on Payhip. Shuttermonkey Designs on there too. It's mostly quilting related patterns I'll be uploading to there. During this vlog I'm going to talk a little bit about knitting, crochet and patchwork and quilting, and I'll put timestamps below. If you're not interested in one of the sections, you can skip on to the next. So here we go, knitting. I've got a few sock patterns, as I said in the last episode, that I would like to be releasing pretty soon, and this is the first pair that I'm hoping to release. This is my old shell, my old shell sock pattern. This is currently with a few test knitters. They're knitting it for me just now before I release it as a pattern. Okay, so that has been test knitted just now. And I used Drops Fable to knit my socks. And it's colourway 115. And I used 2 balls of this. Now I've got plenty of this left over. As well as knitting these socks, this pair here, I've also knitted the heels of 2 rainbow pairs of socks. So that's 4 heels so far. I've managed to get out of that ball, like those balls, 2 balls of yarn as well. And I've also started a third. Okay, these ones are still blocking. They've actually just been soaked this morning. They're a larger size. These are for gents, and I've still got the wee ends of yarn hanging. I always block my socks first before I weave in my ends. I wait till they're dry before I weave in any of my ends. So usually if I hold up things that haven't on the sock blockers, there'll always a wee end somewhere that are waiting to be sewn in. So this is my third rainbow pair. And I've also, the last time I showed you, I was knitting a shorty pair. And here they are, they're finished too. So this is the Ursula colourway. The cuff, the heel and the toes, they're all knitted with a mini skein called I Want the Purple One from Mothy and the Squid. And here's the second one here. There we go. It's a wee bit different, that one. The cuff, the heel, the toe, they're knitted using a mini skein from, Glendale Fibres. It's the petrol colourway, and the main colour here is Ariel. Now both of these, the main colours, the Ursula and the Ariel, they're by a lady called Vicky Brown Designs. But these ones are going to my daughter, and she likes odd socks. I'm not a big fan of odd socks. I could wear them if they were both, the heels and cuffs and toes were matching, but the main colourway was different. I could wear that, but these are too unmatchy for me. I know we're all different, aren't we? My husband doesn't like mismatched socks, whereas my daughter loves these, and I'm somewhere in the middle, I think. But there we go. The last time I did show you inside this bag as well. This one here, all my rainbow yarn is stored in here. Sorry, that's just my little DPN cozy. That's I've got the second sock started in there. But a few people asked me about this bag. This is actually the All Caddy. It's by a lady called Patterns by Annie. It's a nice big roomy bag, lots and lots of pockets for storing stuff. It's even got bits inside, pockets inside here that you can put stuff in. It's got more pockets this side too. It's a really good bag, really handy for storing all your crafty bits and bobs in. But I'll link that pattern below as well so you know who it's by. The other thing that I would like to share with you today is a request for test knitters. This is my Helter Skelter sock pattern, and I'm hoping to find some lovely ladies or gentlemen who would like to test knit these ones for me. Okay, again, it's cuff down to the toe, and it's a very simple four stitch pattern repeat. If anybody's interested in testing these out for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll put a link below how you can contact me. And if you're watching this away into the future and there's no link below for the socks, that's because it's not getting test knitted anymore, okay? But I will put a link below how you can contact me, okay? So if you would like to do that for me, that would be great. And the last thing I wanted to share knitting wise today is this. It's my shawl here. This is my Autumn Leaves shawl. Now you can find this pattern on Ravelry. It's a triangular shaped shawl. It's a good size. This is my lovely model Felicity wearing it today. It's knitted in 4-ply yarn. Now this is on Ravelry, and it's been on Ravelry for a few years now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a discount link on. I'm going to put it on sale. So if you buy it just now through autumn, you'll get it at half price. Okay. I'll put links again below how you can find that. I also have a hat. It goes with the shawl, the trellis pattern in the top of the shawl. I've got the trellis pattern on the hat. Okay. And, sorry for leaning in, there is also a pair of mittens that match as well. They have the little trees on them too. Okay. The shawl was knitted using 4-ply yarn, and you start in the bottom section and you knit all these little leaves along the bottom. Once you've knitted the leaves at the bottom, you pick up stitches and you knit this border here that has the trees on it. you knit that, and then you're decreasing in and you finish up here at the top. Usually when you're knitting a triangular shawl, you start at the top and you work your way down, but this one you start at the bottom and you work, so you end up with a lot of stitches on your needles at the beginning, but as you're working through it, you're decreasing the number of stitches, so the rows get quicker the further on you go. This one was knitted with a regular 4-ply yarn. This is an Old Maiden Aunt colourway. She's a dyer quite local to me. I think she's through in West Kilbride. I needed 2 skeins for this shawl, and the hat and the mittens. Hat and the mittens. They were actually knitted with a double knitting weight yarn. It's called Louisa Harden Oriel. Now this is, it's quite a thin, it's quite fine for a double knitting. I don't know how well this will show up on camera. It is quite fine as double knittings go. I would actually say it's quite close to 4-ply. Although it's listed in the pattern that it is a double knitting yarn, that's what the weight of the yarn is, it's a double knitting. Just check your tension, because you may be able to get away with using either a 4-ply, which this is, or a 6-ply yarn. You may find you can change that. I'm going to try knitting a wee test swatch of this and compare it with a 4-ply one and a 6-ply one, and I'll let you know how I got on with that. But what I'm going to do is I'll put, these 3 patterns are already on Ravelry. I'm going to put the shawl and the hat, I'll put them on, I'll reduce the price of them, they'll be half price while it's autumn. I'll reduce the price of the mitten pattern as well and make them half price too. But maybe if you buy one of the other ones, I'll put the mittens on for free. Okay? And I think that's all I've got to talk about knitting wise just now. In the next episode, I'll give you some more details about the old shell sock knit along that I'm hoping to start. I'll let you know the hashtag and things like that for that. But in the meantime, if you do want to knit the old shell pattern, the pattern should be released in the next couple of weeks. The next episode, it'll be released by then, and I'll give you more details on how you can join in with the knit along in the next episode. Okay? Crochet. On my last episode, I showed you this crochet, the granny square cushion, and I launched a Crochet-Along. But what I did forget to do was share the hashtag if you wanted to take part in my Crochet-Along. So I'll put it along the screen just now. It's Shuttermonkey CAL, short for Shuttermonkey Crochet-Along. Now I've been working away on my granny squares for my vest top. I've got them all here, they're all lined up. Now I don't know, if when you look at this, what do you think? Do you think, oh, look at all those pretty little granny squares? Or do you think, oh my goodness, look at all the ends she's got to sew in? I've got quite a few of these done. I've got 4 different colourways for mixing and matching in the centres. And I've just got the one colour of pink that goes round the final round. So I think I've only got about 10 more to do. That's what I'll do this afternoon when I'm finished here. I'll go and finish my granny squares and I can maybe start getting them put together. So next time, fingers crossed, I'll maybe be able to show you my vest top, the start of it getting put together. Maybe it'll be taking a little bit of shape. Okay, and that's really all I've got to show you. Crochet wise today, can I flick through these so you can see all the different colours? I think I've got 6 of each colourway. Now where we can see them. Okay, and that's all I've got to share crochet wise with you today. Hopefully I'll have these put together, starting to take shape, and you'll maybe see my vest top, the start of it, next time. Okay, one last thing about the Crochet-Along. I did forget to share the hashtag last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the Crochet-Along, the end date. I'll extend it to the end of October. And hopefully now that you know how to take part in the Crochet-Along, a few people might want to join in. Okay? Quilting. Since I videoed my last vlog, I've been trying to use up some of the leftovers from previous quilting projects that I've got. I had a little bag of Liberty leftovers from making a quilt for my own bed, and I've been trying to work my way through those and make those into log cabin blocks. This is one of them. This is just a traditional log cabin. And this one here is courthouse steps. Now these are made with 1.5 inch strips. that I was able to use. I was able to make these two with all my with some of my leftovers. But this size here is too big for what I wanted to do, and I was going to run out of some of the fabrics, so I've reduced the size of them. It's still 1.5 inch strips. I've just reduced the number of rounds that I put in. So rather than having, rather than having four rounds going round the centre, this one's only got 3 rounds. So it makes a wee bit smaller. And I'll be able to put some of these together. I've made, I think I've got 8 of this size, and I'll be able to put them together, sew them up together and make a nice log cabin design. And I've also made 8 of the smaller courthouse steps as well. I've had this little bag of leftovers lying around since 2013, and it's been so nice actually looking this fabric out again and using it. If I can, I'll pop a photo in so you can see the finished quilt that I made. These little leftovers have been lying about for quite some time, and it's been really nice using them up. I'm hoping to turn them into a bag. I'm going to make the Finch bucket by Stitch Mischief, and I'm hoping it might be slightly different sizes. I might have to adjust it just to fit the sizes in my blocks, but that's the plan, and hopefully next time I'll be able to show you that. The other piece of patchwork that I've made more Liberty leftovers, because I seem to have quite a lot of these, is a little pennant. I have lots of these badges that I collect, little pins, little metal pin badges, and I counted them up. I've got 17 different pins from different places. A lot of them are little toft animals, and I want somewhere to hang all my pins. And I see people make these a lot. They make little pennants. Can you see that okay if I lean over to the side? It's still to be hand stitched down. I've not hand stitched my binding down yet. But this is all pieces of Liberty that have been left over. But I do have 17 little squares on there that I can put my pins on, little white blocks. And this was all made just 2.5 inch squares, stitched them together. There's a strip along the top, and I've got a wee hanging rail at the back I need to hand stitch down as well. And it's all pinned, it's all clipped in place because I've still to hand stitch down my binding at the back. Another thing that I can maybe get done today. These are the wee clover window clips. These are just great for clipping down your binding before you have to hand stitch it into place. But you can see at the corners here, I've got pins. I prefer pins at my corners. I think they hold your mitre corners together nicer than the clips do. I find it works less if you just have a clip on at the corner. I like it pinned in securely pinned in place before I hand stitch it down. So that's the only other thing I've been working on. I'll maybe show you next time with all my pins on it. The other thing to talk about today, patchwork and quilting wise, is the quilt along that I would like to organise. The quilt along that I would like to do is for the rail fence quilt. This is a fairly straightforward block to put together. I made this quilt a few years ago to teach a rail fence quilt class, so it's really lovely. It's a fabric range called Blue Bellwood by Lewis and Irene, and it's just the ferns at the back. Okay, so there's also a matching cushion, because you need cushions to match your quilts, don't you? So that's maybe easier to see, isn't it? There you go, the smaller version. And this one is just, the front panel's fully quilted, and it's just fabric panels for the back, and it's just an envelope style opening. It's really easy to do, and it's just been bound the same way you would bind a quilt and hand stitch down at the back. Okay, but I'm going to put details up on Payhip. I'll upload fabric requirements onto Payhip, and if anybody wants to take part in that, we can start. I'll launch that in the next episode. Okay, so I'll put a link to my Payhip store below, and you'll be able to find the fabric requirements there. That was the other wee one. I think I showed you this last time. This one's made using Downton Abbey fabric, but that one's in my Etsy shop if anybody's interested in buying that. Oh, and while I'm on Etsy shop, I'll just show you another couple of cushions that I popped on there. This one, again, was made to teach a class. This is the attic windows cushion. Can you see that okay? And this is the back. Now this one's already in my Etsy shop, so if anybody's interested in buying that, I have washed it and air dried it, and it's had a press as well, so it has been cleaned up. But if you're interested in buying that, it's in my Etsy shop just now. And using the same fabric range, there is also this little one here. This one's cathedral windows. Okay. And that's the other side of that. There's a little cathedral windows panel along the back. This one's actually on a 30cm cushion pad just now, but it would take a 35cm pad quite well. So if anybody's interested knows, this is the Grandma's Garden fabric range, another range by Lewis and Eileen. And there you go. They look nice together, don't they? So those are in my Etsy shop. Anybody's interested, you can pop over there and buy them on there. For the quilt along, I'm going to make another quilt, and because I'll be starting this quilt along at the beginning of October, I thought I would do a Halloween themed quilt. So this is the fabrics that I've picked out. You will need 4.5 meters for, if you do the quilt, you'll need 4.5 meters. And this is the fabrics that I've chosen. Okay, so I'm going to be using 4 of these. I'm not sure which 4 I'm going to use, but I'll keep one of them for binding. So there we go. A nice wee Halloween themed bundle. So that's what I'll be making my quilt. And when I launch the quilt along, there'll be a photo tutorial goes onto my blog, so you can work your way through. But if you're unsure about that, there will also be a pattern that you'll be able to download. It'll be a 9-page pattern, it'll probably end up being, and it'll have instructions for both the quilt and the cushion, and that'll be available through my PayHip shop. I think that's me for today. I don't think I've got anything else that I have to share with you today. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, feel free to ask away. If there's anything that I haven't covered or you would like to know. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.